Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Dan Oneil Show. We are here today with Season 2, Episode 1 of the Dan Oneil Show, available exclusively at Colca Interactive. So after a brief, couple-month hiatus here, we are back like we never left. And again, let me just say, available exclusively at Colca Interactive. We have an awesome lineup for the next couple of weeks of guests that are coming on. And today is a very special guest to me and to my business, somebody that I feel as a brother to me. So I'm actually going to do your introduction. So normally I do like, oh, give me the elevator pitch. No. I'm doing it.
Hit me with it.
I'm doing your introduction today. All right. So we have a former NFL linebacker, 7'2". If you're not watching and you're just listening, you can imagine. He is the number 1 mortgage broker on Long Island and number 3 in New York State, which is unbelievable. Super dad. Gotta mention that. Recently engaged. Congratulations. And all around, just huge human being, but even bigger heart. That's why I love you. So today we have Mr. Andrew Russell, broker owner of RCG Mortgage. Oh, and you did my own mortgage too, so thank you for that.
Certainly did.
So thank you for coming on the show. What's up, brother?
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
What's up, Dan? What's up?
So we did this 3 years ago when I first got my license, and our podcast studio was not anything like this. We were literally sitting with like two
Old
lawn
suits.
chairs. Yeah, sitting with like 2 lawn chairs, like in my corner of an office, with no microphone, literally nothing, just using like our phones basically. So it's cool to kind of look back on that and now see like where we are. And I don't know if you've had a chance to ever like listen to that episode since, but we've both come a long way. I mean, you're number 1 on Long Island and number 3 in New York State. Like, you are incredibly humble. You're the same way that I am. And even when I called you to say, like, congratulations, you're like, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. But that's an unbelievable accomplishment, and I'm super happy and proud and honored to work with you.
Business, there's always room for improvement. Even from a service level perspective, like putting numbers aside, you always want to do whatever's necessary to be that much better for your clients. I'm the same way.
Right. So you are, again, number 1 Long Island, number 3 New York State. So you're a broker versus a bank. So for those that don't know, I mean, you can give the brief elevator pitch. I was also joking. He's not an NFL linebacker, but he does look like one. What is the difference between broker versus bank? And give a little bit of like just a quick, if somebody doesn't know who you are, how you got started in the business, and give us the old spiel. Quick spiel.
Went to college. Dan Oneil was my best friend. We veered hard left, and I went to mortgage. He went to real estate. So broker versus banker. I mean, this is always a big thing because the brokers really, they had market share. This is before my time, your time, during the boom, and then the crash happened. Brokers pretty much closed, their doors and went to the banker model. So brokers right now, I feel like, are taking end or have market share, but there's really not many on Long Island. Why? For a multitude of reasons. It's just like the headspace. Like, you have to be at the direct lender, you have to be at the bank, or
right.
Whatever it is. So it's like one of those things. Why work for one and just be good at what one does and be subject to their peaks and valleys, ebbs and flows, turn times, price, stuff like that, versus being on with like everybody. So brokers, I always tell people there's 4 types of lending, institution type, situations. You have mortgage brokers, you have mortgage banks, you have FDICs like Chase, Citi, Wells, Citizens, and you have credit unions like Bethpage, Teachers, Jovia, companies like that. So a mortgage broker is without a doubt the best. Why? Because we're on board with all those companies. So if you, Dan Oneil, on Sunday hits me up like, yo, Big Russ, what's up, bro? Got a client for you. Whatever that client's dynamic is, brokers, what makes us the best is if we can't do it, no one can, meaning like everyone's unique. No doc, that's coming back very strong. Stated income. It's great for realtors, right? Because realtors make money. Typically, they write it off, right? Whatever you make. I'm not pointing any fingers, but business owners, we do the same
Personally
thing.
attacked here.
No, but we all do, myself too. We're able to lend based more on credit now and assets versus the income. That's a cool advancement in mortgage product. Some of the different more exotic programs like the FHA, some lenders stop at a certain credit score. We're able to actually do what the government allows, which is like down to a 500 credit score again. So like if you refer a client that has a 500 credit score, the typical bank, they won't be able to do the purchase transaction for the client, but we can. We have lenders that actually love low credit score FHA business. Why? I don't know. But, we're simply just the middleman. So brokers, we're aligned with a multitude of banks. What makes us great is we find the best fit for clients, and we still kind of facilitate everything almost like we work at that bank, but it gives clients the most options with the best rates and the best service. They get to work with, the best.
All right, so now that we got the educational part out of the podcast, we have to bring it back to the story of how we first met and how we started working together. So I'm going to share, and it's a great story, excuse me. I'm going to share my side of it, and then you share your side of it, okay? For people that haven't heard this.
Hit me.
So, excuse me again, I got a frog in my throat.
I'm getting you all choked up. I know you missed me, bro.
I haven't seen you in a while. I'm choking to death. All right, so Dan Oneil, very beginning of the business, maybe like 6 months in. I have no money. I'm broke.
Paycheck to paycheck.
Not even. I didn't even think I even had any paychecks. Met Grace at the time, and we went to Carlos Salinas' wedding in Miami. First time in Miami. I have no money. Like, literally no money at all. And I had a couple deals that were supposed to be closing, and, you know, we had issues. And long story short, one of the deals was blowing up in my face. I'm in Miami. I was expecting it to close, you know, while I was down there so I could at least have something. Like, when I tell you, you ever like go to like a Stop and Shop, you know, maybe when you didn't have money and like you're buying something, you got to open up your bank account and check, like, is this going to go through?
So, true story. In 2007, before I started the mortgage business, I was a guidance counselor. You know, go to school, get a master's. I have a master's in psych. You know, take college loans. That's what they all told you, right, Dan Oneil?
Uh-huh.
So I went to get gas, and I didn't have any money, and I had a gift card that had like $14 left on it.
God.
Yeah, so like humble down, like I was like, I think with my brother, and he's looking at me, I'm like, bro, we got like 3 gallons to get to Smithtown from, trust me, I've been there.
Yeah, so that's me in Miami, and so long story short, the deal was blowing up. Buyer, you know, the bank, they were using Quicken Loans. It didn't work. I remember hearing through the grapevine that you were like Mr. Save Me Loan, that, you know, you can save any deal that someone sends over to you. So I'm, you know, drinking in Miami. I'm like, this is getting bad. I need to save this deal. I have no other options. Long story short, I call you. You're on like a helicopter, like on a bachelor party in Vegas. You pick up the phone by some miracle. You're literally like shooting an AK-47 out of a helicopter. At least that's what it sounded like. And you, long story short, you saved the deal. I got paid. I got, you know, finally had money. And if that deal didn't close, like, I don't think I'm sitting here with you. I probably would have quit real estate. I probably would have had to find another avenue because I was 6 or 7 months in and I literally didn't make any money yet. So it was such an amazing, like, the fact that you saved that for me was 10 out of 10. I wouldn't be here without it. And so thank you, obviously. But it's just such a good story because you were in Vegas, right? You were on a helicopter.
Yeah, so like us mortgage guys, like, you know, we hit you. How many calls do you get where it's just like, hey, Dan, my name's Bill from XYZ Lending. I want to meet and have coffee and tell you my value prop. Right? So like, you know, back in the day, before we grew the company to what it was, I had to do that, you know, build relationships. You know, at the time, you were on a team. So that team, I had to reach out to Zach Schur, the team leader, and do the same thing, get an opportunity. And if we didn't do a Save Me loan for Zach Schur, and what's a Save Me loan? It's not like we have some magic, you know, potion that no one else has.
Do a little bit.
It's just someone somewhere at some of these larger institutions drops the ball. They don't have like that personalized care to like be resourceful, and we do. Like every client to us is the last client we'll ever have, so we want to treat it that way. Where, you know, sometimes these big places you're just a number. Something happens, back of the line, they don't give you your cell, you know. So we're able to just maneuver, potentially fix something that is just very easy. It's just a quick fix, and then execute on a fast turn time. So I had done one for Zach. I was at a bachelor party, correct, in a helicopter. The machine one was called a saw. You can fact check that. It's called a saw. You know, some like, you know. So yeah,
shooting bazookas.
Literally, but to a mortgage guy, like, listen, you know, it's like you're at the bar, you see a beautiful woman, you know, you like get their number. But like the first time they call, you see that number, you get like that feeling, right? So it's like, you know, like I just proposed when I said, "Will you?" and she said yes. I get a great feeling. When I saw Dan O'Neill's name pop, I'm like, "Oh, damn!" I'm like, "Here we go." I'm gonna answer the phone in a helicopter, literally with one arm holding a saw. You know, which probably isn't all that safe after a few drinks.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so I answered, and you know, what happened with that transaction, you know, Quicken Loans is a great company. Unfortunately, the same thing. When something happens, it's hard for them to maneuver. So it was between us. I don't even know if you remember this. It was between us and American Airlines Mortgage. I don't even understand. You know,
I told him if he didn't use you guys, that I would fight him. I swear to God, like, I was that.
I'm gonna come over the top and hit you.
I think I had nothing to lose at that point, you know. But
I've had that happen twice. There was one time, like a Save Me loan, like literally save. Oh, I don't know, American Airlines. I was like, I didn't even know they had.
What do you mean?
Like, what is the pilot, the underwriter? Like, it's right. It's like so confused. The stewardess is the
appraiser.
Like, it's confusing. And another time it happened. They're like, Andrew, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Costco Mortgage. And I was
God.
I was like, what? Yeah.
I would physically have to fight somebody if they ever.
But I literally remember looking down, seeing your name, like you were the hot girl, and I was like, yes.
And it's so crazy too because at that point, like you're saying I was the hot girl and whatever, but I didn't even have any money. I wasn't even really doing anything yet. So it's interesting to see how like perception is reality, or people saw it as like maybe the future or whatever it might have been. But it was just such like a awful timing with everything, and just I had deals dying, and I was brand new, and you literally saved it. And again, if you didn't.
Yeah, I remember that closing. I met your dad.
My
for
dad,
the first time. Yeah. Shout out to Pops.
Yeah. So building your business. So I mean, your business has taken off tremendously since we've linked up, and same with me. What do you think has been like the main, contributor to that? And how do you? And this is something I admire about you a ton. You are able to bring in like such good people and keep them. So, a few steps on just like building your business and what you did. How do you keep, or how do you find the talent, and then how do you keep them? Because that's really big, whether you're a landscaper, whether you're, a mortgage business, title, any type of business.
Everything. Yeah. I mean, listen, but to your point, though, before, so, like, I saw something in you, right? And it's like, I just knew you were going to become who you are, and still, I think, you know how I feel about you. Sky's the limit. But, so that's why I knew, guys like you, that if I could get into your world and, I think I'm just lucky that I consider you a brother at this point. Like, you're awesome.
Of course.
We can kick it Sunday at a game, a Jet game. We can kick it here. So I'm very blessed to have like business partners who I consider family. But I saw that in you and said, look, I'm not a stupid guy. Like, I knew that this was going to happen with you. You're
master's
phenomenal.
degree in psych.
No, but I saw it. You're a great guy. That's like me saying, hey, Dan, you're going to be a great dad. You're not a dad right now, right?
Right.
But I know, sure as anything, if I'm not the godfather within 5, 10 years or whatever it is, I'm going to be very upset because I'm that good of an influence, right?
Amen.
But yeah, to your point, so how do you build a business and how do you have like the retention and all that stuff? So, So one of the positives of OCD is, and I have OCD tendencies without a doubt. You can ask my fiance, she'll attest to that. So one of the positives is, so I like to win, right? It's like our sports. Same thing with you. You're a sports guy.
Yeah.
I grew up, my mother's father said, Andrew, second place, that's first loser. That's very difficult to hear. And in a lot of ways, it's difficult. You don't let the grass grow under your feet. It's never good enough.
Yeah.
So sometimes in personal life, you have to kind of balance that. But like in business, for me to hit the market as a broker, a no-name, and try to grow and build your business and become number one and all that stuff, you need a business plan, right? It doesn't just happen. Like Dan Oneil, like you laugh, you make jokes, you have really gorgeous ankles, you are a meticulous business plan. I know that. You're up early every day. You don't sleep in, right? You plan things out. You're in coaching groups. You have a team. You deploy strategies and tactics. Like you, right, wrong, or different, are OCD with your business plans. The same thing with me. But I will say the pandemic has taught me I will fail, and that's okay at things. It's okay to fail because, like, what is failure? Failure is just not getting up after you get knocked down, and that's what I learned. I'm so OCD with, like, having to be the best, or, like, when you do things wrong, getting so upset. But there were things that have happened, to your point, over the last several months and years where I have a business plan. Things have gone kind of, like, sideways or whatever, but I'm quick to course correct and always kind of stay on top of it. So I would just say make a business plan, deploy it, and always course correct. Don't stay in like one plan, type thing if things aren't working. But I just, I sit back, I watch, I see what's successful with others, I see what's successful with myself, and I kind of just go for it. I'm also fearless, meaning like I believe in myself so much. I know that like the only way I don't get to that next level or become successful or, find a way to succeed is I will die. But it's the truth. It's like that Jocko, crazy headspace, Goggins type stuff. But it's the truth. Like, it's just my personality. When I want something and I believe in myself, I will tirelessly make sure I get there. So how do you do it? You don't just like pound your chest because I'm a big football player. Like I literally strategize. How many LOs? What type of technology? What type of lenders? To like, brokers, we're so good, but like you have to get on with the lenders, right? There's a business owner intangible. I own a business. I think my payroll right now, I can't even tell you. It's wild. But I'm saying that only because... Imagine. Yeah, but think about it. So 4 years ago, it was me and 2 people, 2 salespeople, no salary. Now I have, like on ADP, I'm up to page 2 with fixed salary.
Yeah.
But like, again, it's just a business plan, fixed costs. There's a lot that goes into it. And I have a master's in psych. I don't have a business degree. It's just,
Right.
that's how I am. If I want to do something, I take a step back and I meticulously study and then course correct on, as the road bumps come up.
Well, so you just said you're on page 2 of ADP. So how have you recruited and how have you brought on such good talent?
So I always love the movie The Bronx Tale.
I've never
right?
seen it.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
All right, you got a homework assignment this weekend. No joke, literally. I'll pay for it for you on YouTube. I'm sure you get it. But The Bronx Tale with Chad, I think Palminteri or what is it? Chad something or other. And
I have no idea. I'm not the movie guy.
De Niro. There's a bunch of guys in it
Okay.
that are pretty good. Chaz Palminteri, I think that's his name. So basically,
Is it Chad Palminteri? Was it
Chaz Palminteri?
What is it? The Jets quarterback
Only
from 2005?
I'm only a quarter Italian, so I'm killing the name. But it's the one member. It's like rather be loved than feared with Calogero, like that whole thing in the Bronx. Like I don't know, you really didn't see it.
No, never.
You're young.
I've never seen like the Goonies.
I keep thinking you're
I've never
my
seen
age.
like Harry Potter. I'm just not
Yikes.
really like a big movie guy.
Arnold movies.
No,
Commando.
no,
Best movie ever.
never seen it.
Commando.
Never seen it.
Are we gonna have a bro date?
Commando. What are you
real
going to go
life?
to your pool naked? What,
No.
I have no idea. Never heard of it.
Anywho. No, so basically the whole concept is like there's this guy, he's a gangster, right? It's like similar to a couple different Italian movies, but would you rather, how do you lead, like your team, how do you lead your team? Are you loved or feared? The origin is actually the book, The Prince by Machiavelli. So like I'm getting all like scholarship, scholar on you. But
Yeah,
like,
here comes his master's degree.
But
Showing off now.
Machiavelli back in like the olden days wrote a book called The Prince. And really the concept is when you're a leader, you have to mix being loved and feared, right? And it's just like, you can't be too feared because then people are like, oh, this job stinks, this guy treats me horrible, I'm gonna leave.
Right.
You can't be too loved because people like walk all over you and then leave. So I think I lead with love. I'm definitely a Scorpio. I will hit a point where there's no return, because I am a Scorpio. But regardless.
Are you an astrology guy?
I am.
No, are you really? Like you
Yeah.
waking up, first thing you're doing is looking at your astrology?
No. But I do believe in sign.
Okay.
Yeah. But specifically, I lead this company, I believe, with love, probably even too much.
Mm-hmm.
But in fairness, like my retention's through the roof. People love working. We make it fun.
Right.
Like I just try to take a young mortgage, stuff is typically like old and boring. Like so, like as an example, we have Did you know that the one-touch clear to close gone? Do you know what that is even? You don't.
No.
Yeah, so you got to come visit. You're too famous to visit. Now you got to visit, bro. We got movies to see, wine to drink, and you got to come visit.
All right.
So I bought like a several $1,000 gong from somewhere.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah,
I did see that.
in East Asia. I have
Yeah,
no
yeah.
idea where. It just like showed up one day. It was several thousand.
Nice.
So it's like a art. If a client gets approved, right? And one time my processing team submits to the lender, we get a clear to close. First time, first submission, appraisal, title, documents, all that stuff. It's called a one-touch clear to close. That's like it's like slaying the dragon.
Yeah.
It's like literally like you're up 3 touchdowns in 3 minutes in the game. Like it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So like that's fun. So we smash it. It's so loud. Like the neighbors in our they hear it. They first time we did it, they came in. They're like, what's going on
That's
here?
funny.
They alerted the landlord. But like stuff like that. I do great bonuses.
Right.
For cool stuff. Like not just like, hey, how many clear to close you get? Like things
Yeah.
like, do you come in early? Do you leave late? Does the company do they like you? Like in other words, are you a good person in our culture?
Yep.
With me, and shout out to Jeanette Bracci, my ops manager, we have tirelessly worked to build the right culture within the within the team. I've been at companies where it's like
That's the biggest thing too, is culture, really.
of course, operations and sales, they're like, they hate each other and they're talking smack and like our company, we love on each other. I lead with love. We do great things. Listen, at the end of the day, we're number one, but like I'm a small company, like in the grand scheme of things. We do our holiday events at 110. We go nuts. We get comedians and ventriloquists.
Remember the, what was that? The magician from Insignia?
Yeah.
That was so funny.
But that's the thing.
It's like, I live at your house now? That guy's at every event.
He's like, hey, Dad,
Sleeping in your
you
basement?
again.
Yeah.
But think about
Seen
it.
all of his tricks.
Like, who am I? I'm not freedom. Like, I'm not worth billions. But, like, these are the things that garner, like, oh, you work at RCG. It's so much fun. What'd you do for your holiday party? Oh, we went bowling and had a beer. Like, what'd you do? Oh, 110, like an awesome, I do things like that. So I lead with, to your point, I lead with love. I make it fun, and I reward the people. That's what I would say is my key to success.
Okay. What would you say in terms of, like, balance? Like, so now you just opened up your insurance company, right? You're a super dad, so you have kids everywhere. You are an amazing father. You open up the insurance, you have the brokerage, you have all this stuff going on. You're renovating your house. So right now you actually have 2 houses basically. How do you like stay afloat? How do you have balance? Do you take like a day to yourself? Are you trying to take like time? Like, are you working on it? And this is something that we talk about, like obviously off camera all the time because it's something I struggle with a ton. But like, how do you have any balance?
So I think the biggest key to my success, at least at this point, is so I'm in a phenomenal relationship, and it's the truth. And you don't want to have like a crutch, like you need to be in a good relationship. But I will tell you, my fiance.
Shout out to Lauren, I love her.
Love her, obviously. But it's the truth, she is there for me, and everybody's different, right? We all, when Dan, when you have a bad day, there's a lot of ways someone could be there for you from a girlfriend perspective. So same thing with me. So she, in the ways that I need, love languages, I'll get all like psychology on you, but it's true. She is there for me through the difficult time. That it helps when you have a rock. I'm a lot bigger than her, but she's definitely there for me from a rock perspective. So that's been a huge thing. Without that, could I get through it? Sure. But that has been, it's almost like a little bit cheating because she's there to do that with me. And that really helps. That's the first thing. Second thing, look, everyone struggles with balance. I talk about balance. I have my own, shows coming out about balance stuff, but because I'm so into being a present father and all that stuff, it's really hard, So I'm sitting here telling you it's hard, but I'm doing it. But the fact of the matter is Wednesdays, right? So from a custody schedule perspective, I have my kids Wednesdays. It's like sacred time. It's the best. Yeah. But Wednesdays, everything seems to be popping off. Always phone,
naturally.
This. Yeah. I don't know why. It's just like Wednesday. Monday sometimes it's 2:00, and I'm like, why couldn't this be Wednesday? But on Monday you would think it's always Wednesday. So honestly, you just do your best. Like I said, there's been advice you take a step back, and it's if you're with your kids, you're 100% with your kids. Or if you're doing work, you're 100% doing work. What I would say your balance is when you're with your friends and you're having fun on the weekend, you have to be 100% there. Why be there? Why be at Montauk and Gurney's with the capris on, living the dream, kicking it with the chicks, when you're on your phone the whole time. Yeah. It's or when you're at work, you can't be swiping the whole time. Right. I'm not saying you do that because the women just flock to you, but but still
That's our first Bumble / I don't even know what Tinder joke on the Dan Oneil show here, season 2, episode 1.
Got it. But still,
thank you for that.
I try. Yeah. It's just when I'm with my kids, I do my best. The phone, so it's difficult. We were into Lauren's house, we're moving back, like you said, we rolled that insurance company during the pandemic, and there's a lot going on. But you just take deep breaths. Take things one day at a time. Yeah. Try to be, try to do your best. It's really, it's a difficult thing to do. But as long as you buy into the fact that you are able to do everything, you have to have that belief. I try not to get too stressed out. Yeah, it's something that I'm working on. I talk about it all throughout season 1 too. I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress, but I'm self-aware of it, and I am doing. What's so weird though is yesterday, right? I had a 2-hour break in my schedule, so I went back to my house. I'm laying by my pool, but I don't even I don't know. I don't even like Speedos or it's longboard. What do you got?
Both. Yeah. I don't even know if I like laying by my. I don't know if that's even balance, because I'm still kind of on my phone, working. So you
want to know something funny?
But I'm just doing it in the sun. I don't know. It's so weird.
In my life, if I didn't have all this chaos, I would hate it.
Right? I don't like it. I don't like downtime.
For instance, right, with the renovation, we went to the guest bathroom, and the exotic glass we bought from Europe. Who the hell knows, right? No, it shattered.
No.
Because apparently 1 in 100 just shatters organically. And I was just to the contractor, I'm what? Shout out to LTB. I'm what does that even mean? I went all Scorpio. I'm it just shattered. What? Because it was a Tuesday on the 4th. What does that even? But the point is but I like the chaos. I like it because, if I was retired and I woke up and it was just me and Lauren and we lived on the beach and it was what do you want to do today, hon? Sit on the beach and read a book. I would just be I need to be in New York and bumper to bumper, listening to house music, stressed out on my bird. I like that. I like pressure. I've always done that.
Yeah, I think I need to find what I really just enjoy that will actually give me the quote unquote balance. I think that's that. Half my problem is finding the balance,
find that peace.
Yeah. So another question I have for you is, do you know what my sign is? Can you read me, Mr. Master's degree in psychology?
What's your birthday? February, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's not an Aries. That's March.
If you don't get
this,
not
a Capricorn. That's January.
Oh Jesus.
I don't remember. Pisces.
Oh my God. That's it. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in.
Well, I'm not trying to hit on you, so I don't know your sign.
Aquarius. So another question I have for you is, you manage to always stay a step ahead of the game, right? And whether it's social media, whether it's the systems and structures that you implement, how do you do that? How do you always stay one step ahead of the game? For instance, we were talking, when COVID first hit, and we both kind of doubled down on our marketing, on our business, and all of these things. We took a gamble, but knowing that, if we continue to work and we continue to do the right thing, our business will, double just organically. But we've implemented both on our separate sides of the fence here, structures and systems. So how do you stay ahead of the curve like that? How do you know like what's coming up next? What do I need to do to, stay relevant and continue to grow and not just stay stagnant?
Yeah, it's a good question. You know what it is? It's just like Tom Brady, for instance, right? He's the best in the game. He has great coaches. I can say, even myself, I'm in coaching groups. I'm in like infrastructure, conveyor belt, how to be better at the mortgage stuff, coaching groups, video coach, or like public speaking coaches, like I will spend, I'm not like a profit guy. I keep reinvesting in myself. So a lot of what you would think is profit, same with you, I will instantly throw into like a social media thing or a lead thing, or that's just how I am. I like to take risks, but it's educator risk, but that's something that's big. I also know, like, I kind of have a good finger on the pulse of the market and where it's going and the whole digital. That was my value proposition when I rolled out, like, hey, I'm RCG Mortgage, end of 2018. Make me your in-house lender. Well, what makes you different than, your competition? Oh, well, we actually have a digital marketing company that helps you grow and scale your business. Like, I don't know if you had to be a rocket scientist to know that's, but, like, look at what the market is. So it's just like, I just have that OCD, tireless, I'm always like examining, watching, seeing like where things are going. I definitely keep a finger on the pulse of like the industry and, various things. But it's just, like you said, if you want to be the best at something, you have to really give a what about it. And that's really what I do.
You can say it on here. You can say it. You have to give a shit.
I got little kids, bro.
Sorry.
They're watching.
Okay.
Jack's watching. Soon to be stepson. Yeah. I gotta be a good example.
Okay.
But it's, even we'll keep the Fortnite jokes.
Yeah, we were both there.
But still, it's just like funny. Like I know what the market is turning into. I definitely have like good people in my circle. Like I guess a strong circle. Like you want to keep a tight. Your clique, right? It's just like your business clique. So the right attorneys, the right realtors. Like when you say something, there's credibility. Like when you're like, oh, you seem to know a lot of stuff going on, but like there's credibility in what you say because you're phenomenal. So things like that. The right people, technology. Alex Karajanidis, shout out to Alex. So he moved from Colorado to New York because he bought in so much to the RCG and our culture. It's crazy. He has 2 kids. He was living in Colorado.
Yeah.
Basically like in the mountains. He moved here, literally. He's here as of a few weeks ago, so we can like kind of take over the market. Why? Because he's the digital, he's the business coaching. He knows what he's doing, but like, between the two of us and then the coaching groups and just everything we have going on, it's just like I said, if I'm coming to the game, I'm going to win and I'm going to destroy you. So it's like the same thing in business. Like same with you. Like if you're going to a listing presentation, like I don't want to compete against you. Yeah. You're jumping into ponds. You're leveraging jet skis. I haven't seen you sky. The next one we should literally go in the helicopter and shoot guns. Yeah. And you should be like,
I've never shot one before. That'd be cool.
I got your back.
I've never been to Vegas yet either.
And you've never seen Goonies?
We'll save that for. No, I've never seen the Goonies. We'll save that for your bachelor party.
But you've been to Miami a lot.
No, just once. The time when I had no money when I was down there, so I don't know.
We got a lot of bucket list stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the next. Like our next show is like Dan's bucket list. I'm just going to bring you around the world and you can try various foods across the world.
I'm down. All right, so last question, I guess, here as we wrap it up. What did I want to ask you? I'm blacking out now. I'm a little bit rusty here with this season 2, episode 1. Last question. Oh, that was it. So if you're somebody that is starting a business and you're getting involved, right? Whether it's mortgages, title, whatever it is, you've done an amazing job of getting into these different brokerages and getting into these different companies. So whether you are running an Instagram page or whether you're starting your own business, whatever it could be, how did you find your way into these brokerages and how did you cement yourself in there and become really the number one on Long Island is because you are involved with so many different brokerages and so many agencies. So how did you get your way in there and how did you beat out all these other companies that are offering under the table money and they're offering, we'll do this, we'll do that. How did you do it?
So look, first, what do we do? What's the core of what I do? Mm-hmm. I do mortgages, right? I do mortgages, but it's true. We are mortgage professionals. Exactly. Pick things up. But so I made sure, and this is just in general, like if you refer me a client, no one could be better. And what does that mean? It's not pounding your chest. It's being available, answering your phone, texting after hours, knowing the guidelines. Sales guys, it's just like, it's more than just sales, what mortgage guys do. We have to know the guidelines. So it's like a different hat. Mortgage guys wear a lot of hats, right? Same thing with realtors. So it's like, If you refer me a client, instantly after running their credit and talking about their income, I'll know exactly the loan product. It's like you have to matrix those guidelines in your brain. Like, oh, I know Kung Fu. Yeah. Like, I know mortgage. It's difficult. But on top of that, like you're also a marketer. How are you getting your leads? How are you getting referrals? Mm-hmm. That has nothing to do with selling a house. Nothing. Yeah. So that's another hat that you have to wear. So you have to learn that. There's a lot of things, a lot of facets to be successful. Then, when you're great at mortgage, which took me, I mean, listen, I started in 2007, 8, like at the crash. I made plenty of mistakes. Yeah. You've made mistakes.
Of course.
We've all, like, and I'm happy to say that. Like, I won't make the same mistake twice, but I made a lot of mistakes. Yeah. You know, guideline mistakes. So, once it was to a point where, I mean, my story, like, I guess I never really thought about it. I got into mortgage. Luckily, at like late 20s, early 30s, my circle, just like you, they were buying houses. Mm-hmm. So, they tried me, my friends, right? So, and I actually did good. Like, actually was good and always got better and always improved my game. So that was, like, I guess how I started, and then slowly but surely did more and more business. Used to buy internet leads like anyone else when they first started out. I always recommend people start and go on a team, like, for instance, the Oneil team, to learn before they see where they want to go. But so first, be good at what you do specifically. Then on the mortgage side, it was like, all right, for me to then have relationships, that's a completely different animal with a Keller Williams or with an Exit or someone to that effect. Mm-hmm. Like you said, you have to have a value proposition. And that's where Alex came in, on the digital marketing side. Yeah. You know, going in there and not just like having the best raps or being the most handsome, guy in the block,
which you are both.
Hey now. But still, having the most mortgage product. Every guy says that, Dan. Yeah. Every guy that's going to call you. So, like, I'm brutally honest. I built a reputation being too honest. But most guys, like, I'm the best. I'm the fastest. I'll do this. It's all the same stuff typically at some of these places. So, there has to be more, right? Like you said, money under the table, which is illegal. People still do it. Like Zillow, people will plug in $100,000 a month to try to buy business. All buying seats, desk fee, all that stuff. Right. So our proposition was, and which is airtight, was, hey, we're going to sit with you and we're going to show you how to build your presence on social media with digital marketing, and we're going to help you grow and scale. Like, because the average realtor, so like you're like the anomaly, the white unicorn.
Why?
It's fact. Because you're the best, like how good you are
okay.
as a realtor and on social, like you're the white unicorn. But your competition, some people who are, doing a lot of sides, a lot of units per year, they have no clue what they're doing, right? So like the average realtor does one video a year. Mm-hmm. So like that's like if you do one a week, you're 52xing, like just little things. So like, but then it's like people typically get so like paralysis by analysis. Like you know what you're doing. It's just like people that don't, like, where do you go? Where do you start? Dan Oneil. Oh my God, that's so cool what he does. What do I do? Do I get a studio? Do I have a pod? What do I say? Like, and then it's just like, oh, I'm done. Yeah. So we do small bites. That's been our value proposition with these big box realtor type companies. Mm-hmm. Going in, not just saying the same stuff, actually caring, going with like, we'll help you, not just like, hey, give me 3 deals and then we'll talk about it, which that stuff exists. I understand on purchase, when you work with companies and teams and individuals, it's an investment. Whatever we do on a co-marketing side and we split, like over time, we'll do business together. It's not like, it's an investment. Like I invest in, like, so to me, it's like we don't invest in everybody. So, that's always been a big thing. Understanding it's an investment, having true value versus like what everyone else has. That's really what separates. And then I think people see like the fire that I have for the business. Yeah. Like I love what I do. I have a psych background. I had this thing I wanted to work with divorced children and all that stuff, so that at some point maybe I'll do some kind of stuff to help like the divorce community and children. I think there's a little bit of a gap there from a psychological perspective, but like I get to take clients.
Were your parents divorced when you were young?
They were.
How old?
11, 12. And it affected me a lot.
I was 2, so I didn't really know what that was going on, I don't think.
It took me a long time to get over it. Yeah. Long time. I'm not embarrassed to say that. So it affected me so much. I'm like, I'm so like invested in that community. I want to at some point do something to improve it. Banana splits. I don't even know what's available. I think it's an easy course correction. There's an easy fix. I hate the word stepdad. I hate it. Not only that.
What do you prefer?
I don't know. That's the thing. I'm working on it. Yeah.
No, really?
Jack calls me Soup now instead of Superman. That's the coolest thing, bro.
That's
Soup.
Awesome.
But still, like my stepfather, his name's John. I grew up calling him John. So rude, man. Yeah. So John Nocera, my stepdad, was the most like revered Smithtown educator, administrator, I think like ever in the Smithtown School District. Yeah, right? Yeah. Like President Obama at the time wrote him a letter. Like he is the man. Shit. So like Mr. Nocera, I called him John. Like, it's just so weird. So, like, I just think there's a lot of, all of a sudden everyone started getting divorced. So there was, like, no time for psychologists across the country to be like, yo, come on, let's go meet guys and figure this out. So that, like, but my point is, from a mortgage perspective, I get to take clients from, like, day one, super anxious, right? Like, like the typical client, like, they don't know anything about mortgage, right? And it's just like, it's not like getting a car. Like, there's so much that goes into it and so much pressure and, like, leases and families and school districts and, like, money. A lot of it's, like, their only money. So, like, I get to hold their hand, like, yo, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I got you. I know that's, like, real, like, new school, young kid gangster talk, but, like,
no, it's true,
like Carlos, like, I got you. But it's the truth. Like, just look, trust me, see my credibility, which we have now, but, like, I promise I'll hold your hand from day one, from your referral, from Dan Oneil, and I will get you to the finish line with a great program.
Amen.
But I love that. Like, to me, threading the needle, and it just gives me such a joy. Like, literally, I love it. I can't tell you how I geek out on it. It's like, hey, Andrew, this is, like, my cousin, Bill. And I'm like, thanks, Dan. Hold their hand, speak to them, pre-approve them, watch them go into contract, and it's hard now. You getting an accepted offer from a buyer perspective, it's hard, right? Getting them into contract, going through the process, the closing, the keys, the selfies, liking,
the camus, everything,
Oh, like, I love that. So it's like, that to me was the best. From the pre-approval inception, they see the house, great realtor, obviously, which you are. That whole process to me is like a similar joy from a psychological perspective, and that's why I love what I do.
Amen. All right, so how can people find you? What's your number? How can they reach out to you? Social media? Plug whatever you got.
Anywhere and anywhere, yeah. Andrew Russell. I think it's www.facebook.com/Andrew S. Russell. That's 2 S's, 2 L's, dos S's, dos L's, right? Instagram.
What is that? Dos Equis?
You love that, right?
That was good.
Between that, we're rcgmortgage.com. We have a phenomenal team. We're available 24/7, so hit me up anywhere. And literally, if I don't answer, I'm sleeping.
All right, last two questions. What's the Jets' record this year?
So I think Vegas has it at 4.5. I'm crushing the over.
Yeah? So give the prediction, because we're going to look back on this.
9-7.
Oh, my God.
Wait, there's an extra game, right?
You're insane.
There's an extra game.
What's in that coffee there? You got a little Jameson in that coffee?
Game now, and less preseason, so like 9-8. If that's the case.
No shot.
So me and you are going to the opening game, 9-19.
Yes.
Like, I'm putting you on blast. You're coming, right?
Yeah, of course, I'm coming.
You will be at my house.
Let's go Giants.
Either way, you'll be at my house at 5:30 a.m.,
yes,
right?
5:30 a.m.
You will partake in an alcoholic beverage at 7:55 a.m., right?
The only time I would ever do that, like that early, is a football game, is fishing, or like a crazy like early golf round. Other than that, like I'm not.
Or a $10 million listing?
Yes, $10 million listing. And then second question, I have the number one pick in my fantasy football league this year. For the first time in my life, who am I going with?
Zach Wilson.
What? What are you? This guy's losing his mind. I'm going with Christian McCaffrey. Wrong answer. All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming, tuning into episode 1 of season 2 here with Andrew Russell, available exclusively at Coca Interactive. Thank you, Coca. Thank you, Andrew, for coming to the man. I don't know if we can. There we go. All right,
I appreciate it. My jacket.